What's up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond, and I'm back with an all new review of Love and Marriage Huntsville. I know it's late. The weekend is fastly approaching for the second episode, but I'm getting this one out. My daughter is feeling under the weather, but I'm back to let y'all know how I feel about this new season. It is season 6 of Love and Marriage Huntsville, all right? I was dreading this season to come back, but I know we're going to have a whirlwind of things to talk about. So let's get into the new season. First of all, this is a new season, and we got a new intro looks. I'm loving it. Kiki is now part of the intro, so she is now an official friend of the show, and she's a part of the intro. I'm loving it. I don't see Destiny. I don't know if we're gonna see Destiny at all, but prior to filming, we did see a video of her going back and forth with Chris Fletcher and his wife Nell. So maybe that'll be coming up throughout the season. We might see Destiny here and there, but I don't know if she filmed any confessionals or will she have any speaking parts. Who knows, right? But new season, let's get into it. So, Melody is arriving at Kimmy's house to check in on her. You know, she hasn't spoken to her in a while. You know, it's pretty much been going back and forth on social media, but never an actual visit. So she wanted to check in and see how she's doing. I love the fact that Melody is wearing her line with Jay Bolin this season. Her first look, I'm here for it. I love the color and everything. She's promoting her brand as she normally does. I love it. Now, Melody is the type of person who needs space, needs time to herself. It's nothing against anyone. Just like she said it at the last reunion. When season wrapped, I take to myself. I literally be all to myself, which is nothing against anybody. It's not leaving off as if she has a problem with anyone. It's for her to get back to herself. And Kimmy understood, realized that it's never nothing against her. She doesn't speak to Mel on a regular basis or consistent basis. As long as Melody, checks it every now and again, make sure she's okay. That's all Kimmy could ask for. And Melody appreciates Kimmy for understanding how Melody operates in friendships and how Melody also understands how Kimmy operates in friendships. And the way they have now come to that understanding, their friendship has been added more value to it, which I like. You have a certain friendship with other people and they understand how you move and how you operate, your friendship only gets stronger from that point. So I like the fact that Kimmy hasn't been complaining about not speaking to Mel on a consistent basis like Destiny did. And now, foreshadowing or what's going to happen this season, Storm is going to follow that same pattern. But we're going to get there. So just talking about how they haven't seen her in a while. She says that she's been in the home. Then they bring up her Vegas trip for her birthday. And it could be two things. It could be Kim asking how the Vegas trip went, but it could also lead into who was you with on your birthday. Now, if you follow any one of the videos, any one of the content creators who follows Love and Marriage Huntsville, get all the tea. Melody did spend her birthday with a certain someone. We don't know who that is. And it's up to Melody to reveal who he is when she's ready. That's it. That's it. I'm not mad at you to keep that private. I mean, she even said I'm actually acting coy about it as if I don't know exactly what she wants to ask me. But however, it may seem as if I'm dating someone, may or may not, at this point in time. It's my business and I will talk about it when I want to, and she has that right. So we see that Kimmy and Maurice were having a disagreement about Kimmy wanting to have a little celebration of not having chemo treatments anymore. She's going through her last chemo treatments and she doesn't have to have it anymore, which is a beautiful milestone to pass through. And he's like, I don't want her to do that because she's not done. The battle isn't over. She still has to go through radiation and she still has surgery. But she wants to be in a positive mindset of celebrating everything. That's what she wants to do. Everything's going to be okay. And getting past chemo treatments is a huge milestone. So wanting to celebrate that is what's going to make her happy. But Maurice wants her to focus on what's to come. And I want you to have your rest. I don't want you to get overexcited when you have another part of the battle to win. So we're just trying to find the middle ground. The middle ground. So not to have a big party, but a little gathering. A little gathering. Okay? Because he wants her health to be good, but getting through chemo is a huge milestone. I think she has the right to celebrate it. So Melody offers to plan her party. And Kimmy said throughout her cancer journey, Melody has been a very, very, very good friend. Now in the past, they haven't seen eye to eye, but they've gotten closer. And she considers Melody a friend. Good. Because what happened last season at the reunion, Maurice putting his foot in his mouth, saying that Melody wasn't a good friend, but had to check himself because she has shown she has been a good friend. I don't want to hear nothing about how Melody hasn't been there for Kimmy and blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear it. So, considering that she is allowing Melody to plan the party, she's going to give Melody the opportunity to express if she doesn't want to invite certain people, because what happened at the last reunion pretty much solidified where you are now with the group. But Melody said if it was my event, there will be several people not coming. But this isn't my event. This is your event. So whoever you want to invite, no matter where my feelings are, no matter where we are, that's not the main goal. That's not the purpose. The purpose is the people who you want there. I'm gonna invite the people you want there, which shows Melody's growth, which shows Melody's maturity. You know what I'm saying? How Melody wouldn't, what's the word? Covet Kimmy's event by only inviting the people that she wants there when it's not about Melody, it's about Kimmy. So cool. The fact that knowing that everyone has been on Kimmy's side of her overcoming breast cancer, that's all they're going to want to do is be there for Kimmy, not bring up issues about what happened with the rest of the group, but be there for Kimmy. Now, they practice on how the conversation will go when Melody's going to do the invites and calling everyone, and it was hilarious. I don't know if the first person that Kimmy impersonated was Destiny or Tisha, but it had me cracking up laughing because that was exactly what was going to happen if she was to call any of those people. Mark my words. So we get to Martel. Martel's getting a facial so he can make sure his skin looks nice and fresh. And he talks about how he loves facials and massages. He loves getting touched by a woman. We know. You don't need to tell us. We know. His mom coming in like, what's going on? What's wrong with your face? Why are you wearing that? He wore a big white LED mask. That's supposed to help with pigmentation. Coincidentally, while this scene was happening, Martel receives a FaceTime call from Sheree while filming in Portugal. Portugal is the cast trip that the girls will be headed this May on the upcoming season of RHOA. She's on a FaceTime call with Sonya, and I'm just like, for real? What are the odds that this time this was filming? We're getting a crossover scene right now. 2 different shows filming at the same exact time. Who would have thunk it, right? I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with Sheree acting like she's feeling away by seeing Martel in his robe, wondering what's going on there. He said, ain't nothing going on. His mom was there. She was saying, he ain't doing nothing. He being a good boy. He being a good boy. Going back and forth with, when you want me to come? Whenever you want me to come. You gonna flew me out? Yeah, I want to get flued out. I was like, okay. I never believed that their relationship was serious. Do I believe that there is sexual chemistry? Absolutely. But relationship is a publicity stunt for them to secure storylines for the next season. Then, this was Martel said. Him and Sheree talk every day. They're really good friends. They've gone through the same situations. It's nice to have someone who can understand you and be there for you. I was like, okay. And that they're taking things slow. Which one is it? You don't take things slow with someone who you're calling a friend. You take things slow when you want to have a full-blown relationship with someone. That's not taking things slow, Martel. So I feel like sometimes I feel like Martel don't want to fully admit that he's moved on, or in his mind he's moving on. But when it comes to him trying to have a scene with Melly all the time, he hasn't moved on yet. I feel like he's trying to still save face or try not to ruffle any feathers. But I don't know who he's trying to do it for because Melly don't care. But he wants to present as if she does care. I don't know. Then they talk about the recent family vacation in Florida that happened last season, and everything was going so well, but Martel feels like Melody is making it hard for them to come together. I was like, for real? She's making it hard for y'all to come together? Okay. Then it flashes back to Carlos crying for Martel, saying how Martel misses Melody and he made the mistake and blah blah. He loves his family. I was like, oh my God, please don't do this. And he still calls Melody his family. That's my family. Then this past Christmas, they attended their children's Christmas program and they had a conversation. Martel mentions that Melody wanted to pray on them becoming better co-parents and being more cordial. But he said, I want her to be on her end. I want her to put a little bit more effort. Martel is always trying to make it seem as if as Melody is the main one avoiding trying to be in a co-parent relationship with him. Trying it so hard to make it possible than being a co-parent situation. He's always trying to paint her out as if she's the bad guy, and I don't like it. In this scene, I was paying attention to when he was going to go off the ledge and still want to paint Mel out to be the bad guy, because Martel can't say nothing about adding someone else in to counteract what he's not doing. And Martel talks about going to therapy, going to counseling. Marlene said, "What you need to go to counseling for? To be a better person. Aren't you already a better person?" Marlene, you had me. I was giving you a chance, but yet you're still throwing out that energy that your son is so perfect. Your son is such a good man and a good father that he can't do nothing wrong. And you're finding a problem that he's going to seek counseling. He needs to seek help to figure out why he did the things that he did to Melody. And he said there's nothing wrong with getting an extra help. He said, I'm a good father. I'm a gentleman to women. Where? Who? Who you were a gentleman with? You ain't no gentleman to Melody. You sure ain't no gentleman to Ariane. And I don't know what you are to Sheree. So you can miss me with that. He was 100% against counseling at first, but he's been enjoying himself. To recognize whatever issues he has, be able to fix it and communicate with it. Marlene, I got you. I was on you, but then you messed it up. When you're still trying to paint your son to be so perfect, he can't make no mistakes, and that he should not own up to his mistakes. She gave off a pass that everybody goes through life, everybody makes mistakes. But then when he mentioned how his children are receiving therapy, she's on board. Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah, they need it. They need it. Why is it you're only giving the go ahead for your grandkids to receive therapy because they need it, but your son don't need it? He's pretty much did everything he can under the sun to break Mel, to pretty much put a different narrative on how his children look at him. And you mean tell me he shouldn't get help for that? But she wants to still throw out that if you want to be co-parents, be co-parents. Y'all made a good family. Don't talk about their daddy and paint him out to be a monster. It don't need much for Melanie to paint him out to be a monster. Martel did that to himself. He did that when he decided to have an affair. He did that when he decided to seek full custody of those children to take away from Mel. That's what he decided to do. He decided to have these posting and deleting, painting Mel out to be this bad person, painting out to be this neglectful mother. That's what he decided to do. Saying how don't paint the daddy out to be a monster. Ma'am, it don't take much for us to paint Mel out to be a monster. It don't take much at all. So I don't like that at all. Does Marlene still want Melody to still portray as if they're still together, or she should protect him from all the backlash that he's getting? That's what he did. Everything that Martel did is the consequences of what decisions he made. I just don't like the fact that Martel will always try to paint Mel out to be this bitter person, this difficult person that doesn't want them to be in a better co-parent situation, don't want them to be friends or be cordial. I'm like, it can happen, Martel, if you respect her boundaries. And if you shouldn't try to force it when you wanted to present that you are on a united front when you guys are not on the same page. If you would respect the fact that she has boundaries and respect the boundaries she's put in place, then you'll understand how it's not going to be an overnight thing where you guys can come together. Because this is not something that she can easily just say okay with. You guys are barely coming off of 2 years of being divorced. You have a custody battle. What makes you think she's ready or at that point where she wants to be in a co-parenting space with you yet? That's where I get mad at. Martel literally does not look at the things that he's done that's caused Melody to react and act and move the way that she moved because of this. Moving on. Stormi. Stormi and Courtney are in their own confessional talking about how life has been amazing. Candace Beauty is a huge success. Now they have the time to relax and have family time. Now her son Chess, who is so cute, he's getting ready to eat. Courtney is hinting that Stormi should stop breastfeeding. But she said, I'm getting good at it. Now he needs to eat steaks. He's not old enough for steaks. He's one. No, he's not. We don't have all his teeth yet. Don't have him eat steaks yet. Have him eat soft foods first. And as far as for breastfeeding, I believe that if I remember correctly, because I did not breastfeed my children. My children was formula fed. But I looked at it the same time frame as my mother who breastfed all of us. I think we stopped around 1, and I stopped giving my children formula around 1, and then onto the sippy cup. So Courtney understands that breast milk is healthy, but he's looking at his son not a baby anymore, so time to get off the titties. because you want the titties back, right, Courtney? You want them back anyway. But she said she wants to nurse all their children. He said, all of who kids? Just one kid, right? No, I want more children. I don't know how many more Stormy wants. I think she wants maybe four. I could be guessing later on. But he didn't want to have any more kids, especially after Stormy's last pregnancy. She bled a lot and she could have died. And he didn't want to go through that. But she still said, what about a surrogate? He don't want to deal with that either. He's not comfortable with this with a surrogate. So she's looking confused as to where did this come from. Because she never thought that he would be against having more children. But if my memory serves me correctly, though, Stormy, you wasn't ready to have any more children either because of what happened from your last pregnancy. So she's still lost as to how we got here. He said, I don't want to have any more kids right now. He don't. I think he's probably looking at how much he can handle having one child. And the child is barely one, if I believe. You guys have time if y'all want to have more children. I get if you want to have children in the same age range. You don't want a huge age gap. I get that because my children are 4 years apart. I don't want a huge age gap either. But maybe more will come. But he shut down the conversation. But she said that Courtney doesn't like having difficult conversations. He shuts down. And this is something that should have more of a understanding, because she wants to understand why he don't want to have any more children, but he said, I don't want to talk about it, it's pointless. Oof. But from the beginning of the conversation, it was trauma for him to see his wife almost lose her life having their one child, and he doesn't want her to go through that again. He doesn't want to go through that again. But then he also says that having more children, he doesn't want their children competing. If you put a competitive mindset, a competitive energy around your household for your kids to compete, that will happen. But siblings, they'll have sibling rivalry. It's to come. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have that type of relationship anyway. That's what happens with siblings. But like I said, because I always feel like Martel looks for ways to paint Mel out to be the one who's always fighting him on trying to be better co-parents, fighting him to make it difficult for them to not reach that place. But if Martel will only respect Mel's boundaries and not be so upset and not understand why she's feeling like this, then they would reach a better place of being friends and being co-parents. But it's not going to happen on his time. It's going to happen when she's ready. Anyway, so we get to Stormi and Courtney having their own confessionals, talking about how life has been amazing and busy ever since Canvas Beauty has been a huge success. And now they have taken the time to relax and enjoy being a family. Now we're looking at her beautiful son's chest. He is so cute. He's about to eat some food, and Courtney is hinting that Stormi should stop breastfeeding. Have him get off the breast and eating some food. She said he does eat food. Have him eat steaks. I don't think he has enough teeth for steaks. I mean, how old is he? One? Start with some soft foods first and then get to the hard stuff. And like I said, is he one? But she still wants to breastfeed. Courtney understands that breast milk is healthy for the babies, but he's looking at the advancement of his child. His child is not a baby anymore. Yeah, he's still in diapers though, but he's not a baby. So it's time to get him off the breast milk and on to eating regular foods. I was like, you want the breast milk, right? You want the titties back for you, right? That's what it is. But then she talks about wanting to breastfeed all their children. And he said, all of whose children? All of our children. Just one, right? No, I want to have more kids. He didn't want to have any more kids. Considering what happened with Stormi's last pregnancy, she lost a lot of blood. She could have died. And he didn't want to go through that again. She said, what about a surrogate? He don't want a surrogate. He's not comfortable with someone else raising their kid or preparing to have their children. He don't want that at all. But she's confused as to why. You've never said that before. How do we get from here? Because you don't know if I could carry, let alone have a surrogate. He don't know that, but he don't want to talk about it. He don't want to talk about it. He don't want to discuss it. He don't want to have any more children. That's it. Now we were aware that we're gonna find out more about Stormi's life and Stormi's story in this season. So this is something that we haven't had from them seen before. We're gonna get to it more. Mel. Mel is having some cocoa and chocolate covered pretzels with her children. They're wearing their matching Christmas pajamas. And just, having conversations about what they want for Christmas. I believe Boss Baby says she wanted the iPhone 14. How old are you? 6? What you want an iPhone 14 for? You know how much that costs? I have an iPhone 11 right now, and I now have to change my phone to a 13 because this phone is tripping. But either way, getting a new iPhone is expensive. So, girl, like Melody said, these kids want an iPhone. I'm dreading to get on the phone to call these people to come to Kimmy's party. And the one call she's not looking forward to is Martel. So she calls Tiffany first, tell her about the party. She coming. The second call was Tisha. The last time Melody and Tisha had spoken to each other was at the reunion when Tisha said that Melody has a dark soul. Appreciate the phone call, the invite, but of course Tisha gonna find a problem that she got an unpleasant call from Melody. But the purpose of that phone call was to get an invite from Kimmy. I really do hope that Tisha will find a way to find an issue that Kimmy did not give her the invite, but since Melody was the one who offered to plan the party, she wanted to get the guest list. I just hope that she'll make it an issue. I really hope she don't. And then she called Stormi. Either Stormi was in a bad area because she was annoying me every time she said, "Who is this? Who is this? Who? Sound like a hoot owl. Who? She said, "Hi, this is Melody. How you doing? This your new number? No, this is temporary." And Stormi says she don't answer phone calls or numbers she don't recognize, but find out that Melody got a new number and she hasn't spoken to Melody in a few months. They did not speak at the reunion, and out of the blue, I get an invite to Kimmy's event. She said this is not her new number. This is temporary, and Melody don't trust nobody. I mean, her phone got hacked last season. That's why she changed her number. So right now she's being cautious about who she gives her number to. But either way, Stormy gonna find the issue with that because it's gonna build up with not having spoken to Mel in a while. Then she calls Martel. He got super excited that he got on the phone with her, and da 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 da. She's like, "Oh my God, Martel, I'm only calling so to invite you to Kimmy's event. Let me know if you're coming or not. That's all I want to do. Verify if you're coming." So then he wants to slid in. So we want to talk about last night. Last night, the prayer that she wanted to pray with him about wanting them to get back to a better place, being better co-parents, being cordial. I feel like the prayer he wanted her to pray was for her to give him another chance to say that maybe we can try things again. Because it's all about who's telling the truth, and I doubt Martel will ever tell the truth. So I'm believing Mel that the prayer was get back together. That's what he wants. As far as being better co-parents, okay, I can pray about it, but I don't understand why you want me to give an answer as to why you wanted me to pray about it, or why you want to hear me say, what about that prayer? Like, he will use any opportunity he can to get in a moment with her. Like, I really felt like she prayed about a lot of things, but you giving another chance, that was a prayer that was never gonna reach him. God being said go, okay? I feel like he wanted to make it seem as if they've had different types of conversations late at night, just insinuating that she had late night conversations with him. To paint off as if, oh, Mel, she's having late night conversations with Martel. I know how certain fans can spin when Martel would say certain things. The whole point was to invite you to the party, and that was it. Moving on. Stormi. Stormi is having a hard time finding a nanny for her son Chess, so she asked her mom to move into the guest home and have her watch her son until she finds a permanent nanny, because she's to find someone who can watch her son. Now, she tells her mom about Courtney not wanting any more children. It's confusing Stormi as to why Courtney doesn't want any more children. In the beginning, she said she didn't want to have any more children based off of her last pregnancy and that she will never do it again. But the fact that he was the one that doesn't want any more children, it shocked her. It surprised her, as if y'all never had a conversation about more children. And Stormi's mom was like, maybe it's too difficult for him to talk about. I mean, he did experience the same type of trauma. I mean, he watched you almost lose your life giving birth to their son. You lost a lot of blood. That probably still terrifies him. He's probably still triggered by that. Then she also talks about how men hide their emotions. They don't let them out easily, which is the truth. Men have a different way of not expressing their emotions in a way where we can understand right away. It takes them a while to fully express clearly, But otherwise, we look at their movements, their behaviors of they could be hiding what they want to say. They could be hiding what they want to feel. And we have to, support them and let them know, you can tell me anything. I'm not going to make you feel like you don't have the space to talk to me about anything. But either Courtney is a different type of man who was never able to express his emotions and tends to hide and run away from having hard conversations. And that's something that he gonna have to go to therapy about. And I feel like Storm was not listening to her mom and only wants to hear what she wants to hear, because this is something that he's been trying to heal. Just like how you've been trying to heal from giving birth the first time and that it terrifies you into having any more children. Courtney is probably still in that same place, but she's not listening to how he's feeling. And she's like, so my feelings are not hurt, that he don't want to have any more children. That's not really the premise of what he's saying. He's saying it's difficult to talk about how he felt when you were literally almost about to die after giving birth to your son. Literally, that's the part. So he's having trouble with that. So that's why Stormy's having a problem. And she feels like, I changed my mind, and I thought that he would change his mind, because she only knows she could carry again, but I can have a surrogate. And she figured at that point she got over the fear of not having any more children to figure out, maybe I should try again. Maybe I can see if I can carry. If I can't carry, I can have the opportunity to do a surrogate. She figured Courtney would be on the same page as her of wanting to have more children and that they have options. But no, he's not there. He hasn't fully healed. He hasn't fully let things go. Have you fully healed and let things go? You just had your son. He's one. You are honestly prepared to try to have more children right now, Stormy? Are you? Or are you just saying that? That's all I'm saying, because I felt like, either way. Now, Stormy is switched up with talking about having more children to, are you and male friends? I was like, what? What are you talking about? Because we're getting off to Stormy's mom on Facebook questioning, is Mel and Stormy friends? Or does Mel like Stormy? And Stormy had to come in and clean up her mother's mess, because she was starting a whole bunch of drama for no reason. And Stormy had to say, those are my mama's feelings, not my feelings. And her mom don't care if her opinions hurt anybody. Her mom say, okay, that's my opinions. If it offends them, I'm not sorry, and I will never apologize. I will never say I am sorry, which is not good. Not good at all. Okay? And then we talk about Stormy's mom in general. Her mom have never liked any of her friends growing up. And the mom is automatically coming in being overprotective, like Miss Wanda. And now she's going back and forth on social media, and she wants her mom to sit down. Because now talking about the issue with Stormy, creating an issue with Stormy. Melody don't have an issue with Stormy, but now she wants to use what she has seen on the show to say that Melody is treating Stormy like she treated Destiny. Wow. Okay. Then Stormy had to say, when you do things, I get the brunt of it. I said, no, you don't. Those are my words, not yours. But Stormy is a part of the show. So anything that she would say will get turned on her. Anything that she would say, she will get the backlash. She already got the backlash last season because of her accent and everything, and the way that she works and all that stuff, and her orders and stuff like that. Now you're coming in, expressing how you feel about Melody, who you don't even know like that, thinking that you know her. Stormy had to come in and say, those are not me. I'm not I'm not doing that. But it's gonna make Stormy the fall guy. She will have to come in and clean her mother's messes. It's gonna be just like Miss Wanda does to Tisha. So wondering, how are her and Melody friends? And Stormy didn't want to have this conversation at all. She didn't. Because she didn't want to let it be shown that she has an issue with Melody. And she don't have a reason to have an issue with Melody. But then she talks about developing a friendship. I want consistency. And she hasn't spoken to Melody since the reunion. And then received a phone call out of nowhere about Kimmy's event. And wonder if I'm seeing a pattern. But if you haven't spoken to her in a while, why do you now want to question it after receiving an invite to Kimmy's event? When did you notice you haven't spoken to Mel in a while? Before receiving a out of the blue phone call? That's what I want to know. Because for her to say that she's tuning you out like she tuned out Destiny, you don't know the whole story. Obviously, Stormy's mom did not know exactly what happened when it came down to Destiny and Melody's friendship. And I don't think Stormy knows at this point. She says, however y'all had y'all friendship, we haven't had that yet, which means The way that Melody and Stormi's friendship is developing, it will not be the same as Destiny's and Melody. It won't. So I didn't like the fact that even at the reunion, Martel and Destiny were trying to warn Stormi, you next. And I felt like either Stormi is falling behind that mindset of preparing for it, which might not never happen, or making as if it's gonna happen and I'm getting ahead of it. Like, I don't understand why an issue has to be placed at this moment because of this. And her mom is not gonna be helpful. Um so her mom gave her advice about if they don't have they don't what's the word, give value, there's no point in having them. Her mom is gonna give her bad advice on how to maneuver having friends. There are different ways of having friends. Do you have friends you speak on a normal basis? Do you have friends who you speak on every blue moon basis? Do you have friends who you see from time to time? It doesn't affect you. Your friendship can still pick up where it left off because you guys got stuff to do. Let me know, because the fact that we're hearing the same storyline about people saying Melody don't know how to have friends because she doesn't come around a lot, as if she ain't got shit to do. She is a full-time mom of 4 children, has to make multiple streams of income. So she doesn't have the ability to be there for everybody. If people understood that, they wouldn't expect so much. I just want to know. So it's the day of Kimmy's party. Maurice still don't understand why she had to have the party, but it's her getting through chemo, which is a huge accomplishment right now, okay? It's not a big party, it's a little get together. It was done beautifully. It's at a golf bar. There are little hints of pinks everywhere, light pink and the flowers. And, keep it all nice and pretty. It will be a very nice time for her to have her family and friends who love and support her. Thank you, Maurice, for not canceling it. And, of course, being comfortable, okay? Being comfortable. So, we see who walk in. Everybody walks in with little bits of pinks, okay? I think Tiffany came in with a pink hat. I think Lewis had a pink shirt. Marceau came in like a bubblegum, okay? He had a pink hat, pink hoodie. Tisha came in all red with a pink scarf. I said Tisha wanted to stand out because you're in red. I don't know if you got the memo, but you were supposed to come in with a little hint of pink. Melody had on a sweatshirt with her saying God said go in pink lettering. She had on pink sneakers. She looked very cute. You came in with a red jumpsuit and a pink scarf. Granted, you look good in that red. But I felt like Tisha wanted to make it noticeable that she is getting her fashion game on point and that she gonna come with the fashions because Melody has a fashion line. Like, either she wants to compete. My mind could be going left. But I'm just saying, out of all the people, you came in red? Really? I'm just saying. So she said, I said what I said to Tisha Melly at the reunion. We know where we stand. I felt like, okay, Tisha, fine. Martel's only sole purpose is to find out if Melly's gonna say that damn prayer. Oh my God. So Stormi walks in and she says she's not used to everybody laughing and talking as if they've hung out all the time. They see each other all the time, which is not the truth. So she's not with the fake stuff. I was like, I don't think I believe you, Stormi, because for you to say it's weird to see people who don't hang out on a day-to-day basis as fake, then what have you been doing? Because after the reunion, which was some time, we saw a video of you hanging out with the cast at dinner. It had to have been more than a few weeks since the reunion aired. Then we saw you do a cuff it challenge with mainly the cast, and Melody was not there. That was after the reunion, I think approaching the new year. And then weren't you at Sheree's New Year's party? So make it make sense for me, Stormi. And you've been liking and commenting on other people of the cast pictures and stuff. So what's fake to you? Because I don't believe you if you want to make it an issue that you haven't spoken to Mel in the last few months, but yet we've seen you out and about with other people after the reunion aired. And it's been a couple of months since then. I'm calling you out for that though, Stormi, because how is that fake though? I don't understand. Because if that's fake, then what have you been doing? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm just saying. So, typical Martell. He could not wait to have a moment with Mel and talk about this damn prayer. She said, we're not here to talk about us. I'm not here to talk about that damn prayer. We're here to celebrate Kimmy. I only agreed to do that prayer to appease him, but I'm not about to pray for us getting back together. I've already prayed for everything else, and that prayer is not there. I already said it. Now, I don't know why Martel is pressuring her to talk about a prayer. Of for what? Okay, you want her to pray that y'all gonna get good co-parents. Not on your time. Not on your time. Okay, if she's prayed, she's prayed. Why do you need for her to say it out loud? Why do you need to be in a room for her to admit that she's prayed about y'all being cordial? And all after all of that, Martel just wanted to have a moment with Mel, which is annoying. His antics are just too easy to depict. And she forgot the prayer because she didn't want to deal with that. And I don't like the fact that Martel always wants to play it off as if he's the main one that wants them to be in a better place, that wants them to be good co-parents, and it's Mel who's always fighting against it. No, she's not fighting against it. She's fighting to keep her sanity. She's fighting for her boundaries to be respected. That's what she's fighting. And Martel don't want to respect her boundaries. He literally wants everything to go back to how they were. It will never happen. I swear, did we forget of all the BS he's put her through? Since the divorce, since the baby, since everything else has happened, the full custody battle, like, are you kidding me? This man had a full-blown affair. And he wants to say, I would think that me being the father of your 4 children, you should treat me like that. You should treat me like we're still family. You should want me to be in a good place with you. You should want us to be in a better place, being cordial, being cool again. What? On whose time? Not your time. You need to respect Melody's time. And why are you now all of a sudden want to wear a badge of honor that you are the proud father of those 4 children? You weren't acting like the proud father of those 4 children when you were cheating on the mother of those 4 children. You had an affair on the mother of those 4 children and then had an outside child on the mother of those children. And now you're seeking full custody from the mother of those children. The baby mother of the outside child has continually talked mess about her. And you haven't said nothing. So you're not getting brownie points from me in that aspect, okay? You have not treated her with the respect that she was supposed to have been giving, being the mother of those 4 children. No, 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 no. Talking about you're not being spiteful, you're not being disrespectful. Now you're not. Now you're not. Miss me. Miss me. Because anytime that male reaches that place where she wants to give you a chance, you don't act right. You disrespect her boundaries. You step over them. You think that everything's going to go back to how it was. It will never happen. Kimmy, she makes a speech about thanking everybody for coming. She recently went to the doctors. They did a PET scan and they found nothing. It was a clear image. There's nothing, no tumors, no nothing. She's clear. Yay, thank you, Jesus. She still has to have the surgery, but it's of the grace of God that there is nothing in that PET scan. I loved it. And it's a blessing that she needed this party because you have to celebrate everything. You know what I'm saying? Every milestone deserves a celebration. Getting over chemo is a huge milestone. Loved it. So Stormi uses this moment to have a sidebar conversation with Melody about, I haven't spoken to her in a while, and I want to know, where are we as friends? And wants to know, when was the last time we talked? Melody answers with, to be honest, Stormi, I haven't spoken to anybody. And this isn't new to hear. When filming is done, the season is over, Melody takes that break for herself. Again, it's never to leave off as if she's mad at anybody. It's never to leave off as if she has an issue with anybody. She takes time away to get to herself. And there's nothing wrong with that. So she knew that. Stormi knew that. So she tried to text her, but didn't get a reply. And Melody said, you try to call me? No, I don't call you. We text. We some texting girls. But you didn't try to call and then get the number you called has been disconnected. You didn't get that? No, because Stormi doesn't call. She texted. So she said, girl, if you didn't want to call me, you could have hit me up in my DMs. And Stormi said, no, I'm not going to do that. So Stormi doesn't find it, I can't find the word. No, it doesn't make any sense to her that if she couldn't get in contact with Mel, she could have reached her in a DM. But you guys follow each other. You guys comment on each other's pages, others' pictures. What makes you think you didn't have the ability to text her or DM her if you wanted to get in contact with her, if you know she changed her number? So I was like, Stormi, get with the times. People have multiple ways of communicating, and it doesn't mean that your friendship is in jeopardy. It doesn't mean that we have an issue. It's all about communication. Now, I know people want to say Melody feels entitled because people are supposed to automatically know that your number changed and that they should DM them. Well, that's how you're going to know. That's why I wanted to know in the beginning, if it's such a pattern that she hasn't spoken to Mel since the reunion, and now all of a sudden she gets a text message or a call from Kimmy, for a call about Kimmy's event. That's why I'm asking, when does Storm realize that she hasn't spoken with Mel? When? Why is it suddenly a pattern? Because I hate the way it's depicted as if Melody can't have friends, or Melody doesn't know how to be a friend if she doesn't keep in contact with other people. You have different ways of having a friendship where you don't talk to each other every day. I have that. I have a friend that I've known for quite a few years. We've worked together, and now since we have lived separately, we come in contact with one another throughout DMs, and when we do see each other, it's as if nothing has stopped. But I know that we both have a lot of things going on. She's a mom, she's a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and we got stuff going on. We got things to figure out, things to handle, and we would text each other when we can because we got that type of understanding. So for Stormy to feel like she's in the building phases of having a friendship with Melody, for her to feel like she is having an issue by not having constant communication with Mel, but waiting until now the cameras are on to say, why haven't you talked to me? And how am I supposed to know your number changed? By reaching out? I mean, it goes both ways, in my opinion. If you're feeling like you haven't spoken to her, you tried to reach out, there's no other way, hit her up in the DM. To me, I don't think there was nothing else wrong to do that. If you wanted to find out, if you couldn't get in contact with her any other way, and hopefully by the next episode, we can honestly get to the real reason as to why we're following the same storyline as Mel doesn't know how to keep in contact. Mel doesn't talk to people and we have to follow her. I just don't like that because that's not the case. If you are building a friendship with someone, it's reciprocate on both parts. Ain't nothing wrong with saying, hey, what's up? How you doing? And I haven't spoken to you. Do you have your number? Oh, sure. Let me give it to you. My bad. Because Mel had her phone hacked last season. So she changed her number, only gave a handful of people who she trusted. That's why you know what? I don't want to dissect things. I don't want this to be too long. But that's pretty much all I got. That's it. That's all. Please stay tuned for the next video, and I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.